Howard Webb once again in the spotlight for justifying referee and VAR usage in Everton's 2-0 win over Nottingham Forest. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Yes, today's video is going to be talking about Howard Webb's justification for his referees in what was the extreme aftermath of Everton's 2-0 win, very controversial win over Nottingham Forest. It was a victory that left Everton on the brink of escaping relegation threat and plunged Nottingham Forest even deeper into the danger zone. But what was telling about the game was the fact that how furious Nottingham Forest were. They believe they should have had at least 3 penalties throughout the entirety of the game for 3 very controversial, very debatable talking points that could have saw Forest actually receive penalties, all against Everton defender Ashley Young, but no penalty was given in favour of Forest at all. And after weeks of other kind of decisions like this not going Nottingham Forest's way, they were left absolutely fuming with the PGMOL, with referees, with VAR, so much so that they released a statement on Twitter or X or whatever it may be, basically voicing their anger and frustration, and said that they will try and take this further if possible. Since then, we've talked about it, we've debated all them talking points, and now finally we get the VAR audio we were all waiting for. We get Howard Webb's justification that we were all waiting for. And it's kind of underwhelming and lackluster, as you pretty much now would expect from having done this a number of times, has Howard Webb now. We're going to be talking about the justification, we're going to be talking about the VAR audio and everything else in between. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things always and probably greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section as well. I'm sure you have a lot of interesting thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it in regards to this matter down below in the comment section. So please do get involved down below. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk VAR, referees, Howard Webb, PGMOL and everything else in between about this VAR audio. So, for context, Everton win by 2-0. It really does help their relegation survival bid and plunges Forest deeper into that kind of zone. They are, of course, out the relegation zone, but they are in serious danger. 3 big decisions go against Nottingham Forest in this game. 1, Ashley Young fouls Gio Reyna, or seemingly fouls Gio Reyna, no penalty given. The second, Ashley Young, handball, not given. The third, Ashley Young again, the guilty party, foul on, I believe it was Aina, no penalty given. The third, I personally believe that 2 of the 3 were definite penalties. The third one, a little bit more debatable, but still could be given as well, given the context of how certain situations like that have gone for the season as well. So, in my opinion, 2 at the very least, 3 definite, 3 at the most. So, I agree with Forest, and I've said that when they put their statement out, I agree with Forest's stance on this. It's frustrating, it's aggressive. And of course, what Forest pointed out was the fact that they pointed out before the game that the guy on VAR was a Luton Town fan. Now, given the context of the season and how Luton Town are obviously battling Forest for Premier League survival, it does sort of be a bit interesting and a bit weird that, of course, given the context of the season, a Luton Town fan did not give Forest a single penalty in a game in which at various key points could have easily turned the game in Forest's favour. The first penalty decision was given at 0-0. The first penalty decision was then at 1-0. The last 2 penalty decisions were, I believe, given at 1-0 Everton. So it could have turned the game in Forest's favour, whichever way whichever penalty was given at any particular time. So it does make for interesting reading when you consider that, and it does make you wonder about maybe a bit of a conspiracy in the works there. What we get, though, is 9 days later, the VAR audio is released. Now, Forest were calling for the VAR audio to be released, and 9 days later, we finally get it in the show that Michael Owen, how he's got a show, I never know. Michael Owen, of all people, is interviewing Howard Webb, and Howard Webb is giving a justification on how we think the referees did on that day, what was going through the thought process of the referees and the VAR to arrive to the decisions that they did. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen it happen with Liverpool. We've seen it happen with Arsenal. We've seen it happen a couple of other times as well across the season. This obviously would make for interesting viewing. What we get, though, is two things that play on my mind instantly. The first one is, why does it take 9 days for the VAR audio to be released? That is strange to me. I said it when, obviously, with the Luis Diaz given offside goal, which was clearly onside. I said it about the Arsenal, I think it was the Gabriel against Newcastle incident. Why does it take 9 days for the VAR audio to be released? Some sort of weird thing going on there, maybe? I don't know. Is that some sort of something you've got to hide? Is that something you've got to kind of clean up the audio a little bit by editing it? I'm not sure. I don't know why that is. It just seems very strange to me, and has always seemed strange to me across the season, no matter what the incident is, that 9 days later we finally get the VAR audio. The second thing, Howard Webb doesn't talk about the VAR audio for the first two incidents. He goes on about the third one. Again, I find it strange to me, because although he kind of tries to justify it and say, well, the first two are subjective, I'm quite happy with the way that the referees came to the decision on the foul on Reina and the foul and the handball. You've given penalties again for fouls like the one on Reina in the Premier League all season. Again, a bit inconsistent, but for the majority of the season, you've given fouls like that for penalties. Your referees have done that. Your referees have also given penalties for handballs against for the handballs that was similar to the one against Ashley Young on that day. We only just saw it at the weekend. We only saw it or last weekend with Aaron Wan-Bissaka and one not given for Jack Grealish in the FA Cup. We saw it this past weekend. Where a similar handball, which was a handball, wasn't given for Manchester United. But we've seen it time and time again happen with other clubs. And you name them. Chelsea's been given one. Liverpool's been given one. It's been gone against, other teams like Everton in the past. It's been given against teams like Manchester City. Given 4 teams like Manchester City. Doesn't matter. You've given those types of handballs out before. So what's so different this time around? Or is it the fact that there is a Luton Town fan on VAR? I'm not saying either way. I'm just speculating. But I just find it strange that not only does the audio get released 9 days after the incident, but it also only takes place on one of the 3 major incidents that are absolutely riled up Nottingham Forest. So anyway, he goes on to say that not all contact is a foul. I get that. I've said that before. I get that not all contact is a foul. But in my personal opinion, although the handball you could say is in close proximity, which he does say, and I can kind of understand that to a degree, I also still think it's penalty, but I still think the fouls are the penalty ones. The third one definitely is a foul. And I'm actually quite surprised with how Webb tackles this one, because Webb goes on to say that he thinks it was wrong. He thinks that the referee should have been given the choice to go to the monitor and make a decision for himself. And when you listen to the VAR call, the referee on the day actually says that he's got the ball. He repeats something along the lines of played the ball, or something along them lines. So he's adamant that the ball's been played, but we've seen this before where the referee has somewhat influenced the VAR decision. I can't remember what it was, but it was something very similar that happened very recently. I think it was the Alexis McAllister Jeremy Doku one, where he says it's not a foul and that Doku plays the ball. So we've seen already a referee influence the VAR call right off the bat, not once but twice. And in this particular instance, Howard Webb says, I think he's got it wrong. I think there is contact. I think there is a foul. I think the referee should have been sent over to the monitor to double check his decision. Why aren't they doing that anyway? Why aren't they going over to the monitor to check for themselves anyway? By the time, with how long VAR calls take to make anyway, surely he should just be going over to the monitor anyway and checking the decision. Surely that's what they should be doing, whether it's, you know, a debatable one, whether it's more of a clear-cut one. That's what they should be doing anyway, right? You've had 2 incidents now where the referee has, in my opinion, very much influenced the decision of the VAR right off the bat without them actually thoroughly checking it. And you to sit there and claim that they were wrong to give that decision, you're basically admitting that Forest were cheated out of a penalty. So maybe you need to look at maybe the VAR on the day now. You're going to have to look deeper into this. You're going to have to look at the VAR because, as I say, those 3 decisions, I've all seen them given all season. Some of them a bit more debatable than others. The handball, I get. I don't know what is a handball anymore. I've thoroughly said that for the past few weeks. I don't know what a handball is anymore. But those types of decisions you've given for and against, and it's been very inconsistent how you've used them. And you hide behind this clear and obvious ruling and this huge grey area that VAR referees and referees as the on-field referees hide behind. Get rid of clear and obvious. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty. If it's not a penalty, it's not a penalty. Stop with this clear and obvious stupidity and get to the right decisions. Because it's a joke the way that you have to come out every single week and try and justify why a referee came to that decision. Because there's going to be no punishment for it. Forest could go down this season because of that. But there's no punishment to the guy who didn't give it. There's no punishment to the on-field referee who made a mistake. There's no punishment to the guy behind VAR who made the call to obviously give the wrong decision. There's no punishment or consequence to any of them types of players in this scenario. It's simply just, you made a mistake, let's move on. And he actually does go on to say that human error will occur in this game. Yeah, human error will occur to players, managers, but it shouldn't happen for referees who have got VAR to back them up, to help them get to the wrong decisions. If you made the wrong decision, you made the wrong decision on the pitch. Fine. We can accept that. It's what happens when it goes to VAR and they still arrive at the wrong decision. That's the issue that we have. If it's a penalty, like I say, it's a penalty. If it's not, it's not. It's time that these referees and VAR and PGMOL actually realised that that is the case. Because I'm sick of talking about it. But like I say, I'll try and be as consistent as I can on it. And I'll try and call it out whenever I can and whenever I see fit to call it out. If these referees are not fit for purpose, we do not have the best league in the world. We don't have the best referees in the world. And the integrity of the game is completely gone from the Premier League. There you have it. I said what I said. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of the Howard Webb and VAR audio call for Everton's 2-0 win over Nottingham Forest? Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, all about that stuff down below in the comment section. Would love to hear from you all. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. Get involved, like I say, in the comment section as well. I definitely would love to know what you guys think and feel on this. Otherwise, thanks everyone for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.